think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Do not trust any friends or family members. I repeat, do not.
Fucking 90/30. Lay on the rug.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so that started today, and pretty excited about that.
It's good. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. I'm gonna have proper man cred at a certain point. I always envisioned it happening later in life, like a 50 or a 60,
to have like the pills that you can talk about and then trot out there.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to keep it down to one.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Oh,
I guess society. Not society.
You put multivitamins in there too and make yourself feel like you're putting more good pills in than bad.
That's a good point.
Wow, that's a life hack.
Yeah, and then you remember to take your omega-3 and your multivitamin. That's what I do. Then I don't feel like I'm just like pharmaceuticaling to not die because of bad genetics or whatever. Then I'm like, I'm just taking my vitamins. Relax.
Positive spin on it all.
And my stomach acid pill.
Jesus. So I don't even take vitamins. I'm doing it wrong. I mean,
you should.
I should be looking to you.
I bet you. Wow. I bet you'd be fucking way stronger if you took vitamins.
I think. I'm gonna find out. I'm pretty excited about this new pill life that I've started. See where it takes me.
We all are.
Yeah. I just want to get big and strong like Popeye.
Creatine, brain pills, all kinds of good hippie shit out there.
I take the creatine.
See that?
Yeah.
Wow, no kidding, huh?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Daily?
Yeah, daily. 5 milligrams.
Okay.
Little scoop.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay. You can do it too, audience.
What's it help with? Too.
It just helps with muscle growth when you're old. Like, it helps for anybody, but like,
I mean,
that's always been a problem. Yeah. I think we should make a pact, a big pact? Strong 2024 suicide pact.
No, a creatine pact. Hey, I'm open.
It's like turning into Logan Paul's channel.
Let's talk.
Okay. So what brought us here today, gentlemen? Today we're going to take it to. Actually, first of all, hi everybody. Extinction Agenda with Chris, James, and James. And today we're going to take it to the Swifties. Swifties, go fuck yourself.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't know if I was going to take that approach.
Okay.
Okay. Well, please.
Okay.
What? How should we handle this?
Just I don't know why. I thought this was going to be like less aggressive. They're vicious,
I've got my Taylor's version of 1989 on pre-order. It's going to be showing up relatively soon.
See, that's equivalent of being a Swiftie. So we're of no harm to Swifties.
Yeah, we're within. Like as a Swiftie speaking to other Swifties, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what we'll do today, I think, is maybe in the eyes of a Swiftie, like redeem Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Fucking right.
That was on my agenda. This will be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I don't think we did we picked a good movie to evaluate Jake Gyllenhaal's performing abilities, I suppose, and the projects that he picks. But it's not anyway, we'll get to it. But what brought us here is a little revelation that James brought to my attention regarding a 14-minute Taylor Swift video of All Too Well. Yeah, All Too Well. Yeah, I should know it all too well. I just listened to it 3 times in a fucking row. And supposedly this is about the prior relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal. And so, I got a little incensed. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And decided that we should have a conversation about this video. And let's see how that goes. And then we'll kick into a little something called Nightcrawler, from 2014, directed by Dan Gilroy. So what
starring none other than Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes, of course. Swedish royalty, member of Swedish royalty.
Nepo baby.
Nepo baby
Oh.
extraordinary, yeah.
Nice one.
Nepo babies all the way down, man. So what did we think of the all too well 14-minute version, short film?
Cool mini film because I like Sadie.
Whoa. We're starting off nice. We're starting off with a paused comment. Good.
Does anybody else feel like this is just a normal breakup from somebody who maybe has some emotional distress?
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. I was like, when they're in the kitchen and she's like, "You didn't even touch my hand. You didn't look at me," and like that's the extent of the bad things this guy did. Like that's it. He was shitty to her. Like he wasn't even shitty to her at the party. Like, I really could go. What is it?
It's like that. It's a tell. You know, it's like on the surface, it's not. It's really not that big a deal, but it kind of shows where he is with her. And like apparently he was 29, she was 20 at the time, and she's like,
there's a 10-year.
Like, I don't know how to talk to these people, and he's like, "Oh, I was having a great time."
Well, that's where the man. I'm gonna try not to throw too much shade at the Swifties, but that's where the Swifties go with this is this 10-year age gap, which
that's
like
ridiculous.
I don't know how that's an outrage to anyone. That's fucking standard fare in both directions. I've seen in some cases, like it's not that's not unusual, and there's no like you're an adult when you're 20, you want to make a choice because you meet somebody that's 30. That's not shocking to anyone, and I don't know how it gets like twisted that way because that's silly.
But
it's maybe a bit of like life experience gap, but like it's not a huge issue. Like it's like maybe you're going to find out that you don't have things in common or you're not as mature as you thought you were. And maybe it causes strain on a relationship as per the video.
Yeah. And like, I don't even know how long they were together. Like, so she's 20 and she turns 21. So it's like within a year or whatever. And they like live together briefly. And she just is really shitty to him so far as I can tell. Like maybe this is like a Rorschach test for people, but I'm just like, this bitch is off the hook crazy. There's no reason for her to be acting like this about, and he's just like, okay, peace out. I'm out. And she's singing afterwards about how like, maybe we were a masterpiece that you tore apart. And like, no, it's the other thing where you ask too much of it, and and all those other things that you said beforehand. Like you're just trying to put lipstick on this shit. But like I'm bound there with you, Chris. Like this is evidence of an inability on someone's part to just like get the fuck over themselves. But I guess like that's what songwriting's about.
Yeah, and that's great. Like that's fine. You write from your experience. I like releasing a 15-minute version like however many years after the fact, maybe a little, I don't know, like we can't assume that it's necessarily her like still being hung up on that relationship. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just sort of like more detail to a song. But like that's a little questionable to me.
It's written and directed by her. Written and directed and acted in by her.
Well, there's also the they asked Jake about this, right? And he seemed like annoyed. Didn't really want to speak about his personal life. It was like bad interviewing, but he did make a comment on this whatever, it was like a GQ style sort of magazine or whatever, and he said that basically this is a story between Taylor and her fans, and it didn't really have anything to do with him. And he felt like just like some people use like emotion to express their art, and that doesn't bother him at all.
Yeah,
so that's a stance he took on it anyway, which was fair. Pretty solid.
I'm gonna throw another interpretation at this because this is where I diverge and like want to come after Jake a little bit. It's possible that he doesn't understand people that well, and I think this kind of bridges into Nightcrawler, because I want to read you something that he said about his character in this movie. Not to bring us too far apart, but he says, it's important you feel like Lou is a superhero of a generation. People ask me, do you ever wish you played a superhero? I just did. His name is Lou Bloom.
I think so. He also like in the he talks about how they were laughing though the whole time, like through the entire film, how they were viewing it as a comedy. Like I don't know what, like, and they did like ads and they Craigslist and LinkedIn profile for Lou, and I'm not sure what to like. That strikes me as that's not congruent with the other things that we know about the film. Like I can't imagine he'd be that unaware.
Well, and he also, like, to go on, he's saying that like he it's important that you like Lou, like otherwise that you won't be able to watch the movie. And he says, I don't like to call him a sociopath. The reason it doesn't become unwatchable is because there's great innocence to him. He's almost like from another time, like Jimmy Stewart. Like, that's fucked up, man. Lou is not likable, but like it's an enjoyable movie. Like, I love the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to watch an unlikable character do his thing and excel at it.
Well, sometimes you just got to blame it on the anti-hero, right?
Yeah, exactly. Whoa,
little swift cut for you there.
All right, so we're over the video then here.
I don't know what else there is to say other than like it was a shocking display of like it's not even it's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing video, and it's perfectly on brand for the sort of like society that is perpetually yearning for the past and the injuries of the past and the resentments of the past and the hopes of the past, and to have like some and then for women to feel like empowered in a way that allows them to like wallow in that resentment but also somehow overcome it. Like, it's a real complex, heady stew that Taylor excels in. She's so fucking good at that.
I'll stir the pot a little bit more. Like, I like Taylor Swift's music a lot. Every time I've seen a video from her, it's cringe as fuck. Like, I find it very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Who are we to mess with success, though, right?
No, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think. I think like honestly, I think that it like aggressively displays like just an emotional ineptitude at the time, and then you can excuse that for being 20. But the funny part would be wanting to show that to everyone anyway. But then you got to think too, like from a celebrity standpoint, are we having like a bit of a Michael Jackson thing here, where like a lot of these celebrities don't really mature properly? So I know that's sort of a deep cut to Taylor, but
yeah, well, we don't know her, and fucking who cares? Like
I imagine her social life and is well beyond norms.
That's fair.
Like into fucking bizarro world where you can't mature emotionally anyway. So maybe she's just displaying that as like, I was emotionally immature at the time, even though it like looks like a psychotic 20-year-old girl that's like having some type of emotional fucking breakdown, or just like not knowing how to process a relationship in any kind of constructive way. But
I'll give her a little bit more credit than that, in that I think maybe it's just kind of showing both sides of an argument and just kind of putting the camera on it. But yeah, anyway, we don't need to go.
I don't think she feels that way though. I think she felt like she did a good job displaying how good she
wrong
was.
He was. I think that's the question I have. Is like, I don't understand to what extent I'm supposed to feel like this dude's completely in the wrong, and I also don't care to like go further in detail into it.
Yeah.
There.
If something went like, what was he so angry about on the phone when he like looks back at her while she's in the car? Like was he selling drugs or something?
With his agent or something?
Probably, something like that. And like, fuck, this bitch is still in the car. That was a moment where I was like, oh, this isn't going to go south, and then it just didn't go south. Anyway, and it's rooting for the anti-hero. What the fuck? I said, what did I say? Blame it on the anti-hero? I don't even know the lyrics of Taylor Swift songs.
Oy.
Terrible. You fooled me though.
Well, that's fine. Say anything with confidence. What did I learn from Lou? Confidence, communication, fear.
Management.
That's right.
I want a Lou Bloom management school. That'd be fantastic.
Oh, Jesus.
And to take it right back around to you too, Chris, I felt like a freedom in rooting for Lou. I don't know if that's not a little off of me, but I felt like he was like, how nice would it be to be so single-minded that you're not really worried about where you're living, you're not really worried about, you know, your assets or what you're planning, you're just moving forward in this like straight line, just like, I'm gonna do this and this, and I'm only gonna extend myself financially if it serves my like linear purpose. This one is just like such a pure existence. So I don't know, I see the superhero bit a little, but
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, well, he's definitely an avatar. He's the hero we deserve, for sure.
I'll buy that.
If so, like this show, one of the things that I love about this movie so much is like, although Lou is extremely compelling, the story that's being told here is so, like it's all about clickbait. You know, it's all about how culture, the means by which media propagates fear and anxiety and all sorts of other, like, just for the sake of clicks, right? But it's prior to the internet exists, but the sort of social media existence doesn't. Like, I don't know when this story takes place exactly, like early 2000s, post 9/11, like just around that time. Like, there's the technology's there, but it's not nowadays technology, right? And even the fashions and everything.
Yeah, like the tech's there, like you because of the newer cars and stuff, you can tell like people are using cell phones and stuff, but it's still like it would still be in the norm to not use one if you chose to.
Yeah, I suppose so. I didn't think about whether or not like there was like dial-up phones or whatever in this, and maybe it'll come to me, or I'll see a scene. But anyway, I was really taken with this movie, like, and Dan Gilroy and the other Tony Gilroys. I really like what they do in general. You know, they're the Born Identity people, and then also some of the they did Michael Clayton. Michael Clayton. Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh,
not a person. It's very good. If I'm remembering the name properly. Anyway, it was awesome. Yeah, and then they did Andor recently, which is the only Star Wars thing that I watched.
I've heard that's good.
I liked it a lot. I thought if you like what these guys are up to, you might like Andor. I mean, this has a very particular flavor, but
I like this. Yeah, I like a good noir story. Like, that's give me that. And I think to go back to the technology thing, like this is so, it feels so unmoored from like day-to-day existence, because it's all so nocturnal. Like everything that happens is, you know, a little bit like No Country for Old Men, where like so much is shot at night, and that like it just gives this quality of time. I don't know, like being outside of time almost.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah, you're right, because like I was reading, again, this is just on the Wikipedia, but they filmed this thing super fast, and then like they filmed it all at night. And so they were always chasing the dawn, you know, like trying to, not chasing the dawn, but like working against the coming of the dawn. And there's very few like daytime scenes. It's only when Lou's sitting in front of the TV, really. No,
yeah,
I guess when he interviews Ricky, or Rick or whatever.
Love that scene.
Yeah. I need money, man. So Lou's a piece of shit, though. Like, we can agree. Like, when he first opens up, when he opens up, like, he doesn't. This is also like the story of how Lou finds purpose in life. Like, when it opens up, he's just stealing chain link fence. He robs this security guard guy for his watch. Like, he's lost, you know, and he's searching, but he's just sort of like scraping the bottom of the barrel, just trying to survive, and he's so shameless.
Yeah, and there's like, and he's also not really scraping the bottom of the barrel, because he's basically just doing whatever he can to get, like, you know, whatever amount of money he needs for existence, but he's so capable that he can just shift gears on that anytime he wants, really.
He's hustling.
He's like a hustler, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the like the scene at the very start, and like when this came on, I was like, just kind of leaned forward. I was like, yes, I'm gonna like this movie. But when he steals copper wire and then he brings it to like a construction site and sells it to this guy under the table, and then he starts asking for a job.
Yeah.
I work really hard. These guys like, I'm not hiring a thief, but like that guy. If you hired that guy, he would be stealing from your construction site like instantly. He'd just be opening the door to a jackal.
Yeah.
But he's still so earnest about it.
Well, he doesn't really believe. So hearing you say that and me sort of looking at it right now, like he is economic man. Right? That's all he is.
Absolutely.
Like instead of like we called him a hustler or whatever, but like he's not just like he's acting rationally in a sort of real politics sort of way, but like that's all he does. He is nothing but economic man. So he goes into and he's like, and I know today the self-esteem culture is, led me to think that, or led some people to think that they should like get somewhere, but I know that you worked really hard. And I love all these speeches because they're just right out of
Dick Carnegie or Dale Carnegie rather.
Like the American dream shit. He's just like this pure American, like economic man, American dream, whatever. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and like that's what it looks like. that's your dream, and like he's just this like gaunt nightmare creature, and I love this movie.
Yeah, I read a review where they were talking about his like, and Gyllenhaal's a guy who will lose or gain weight for a role. He dropped 30 pounds, and like they were, I think what's his name, Rick, was saying like, oh, like big deal, like this guy dropped 30 pounds. Then when he saw him face to face, he's like, holy shit, he looks hungry. He looks like a coyote. Like this is now I get it. Now I get what that's about. He does. He's got this like bug-eyed, like wide-eyed quality the whole time. It's like it's unnerving. His like how hungry he looks.
Yeah, it's it's actually his like body transformation's pretty for him it's pretty shocking here, and whether that like helped him like with another role or whatever later, but because I think he was balked in a boxing role.
It was for this. It was
just for this.
Yeah. He ate kale salad only, is what they say, and he ran 15 miles a day. And yeah, it was like he was a producer on this. Like he worked really closely. Like this is part of it, which is again why I'm not convinced that like a movie this smart can't. They don't think he's a superhero, but like they're being sarcastic. Like he's like, if he's like a superhero, he's the real Captain America. This is what Captain America is actually like.
I think the movie too, like it feels like he's never sleeping. Like when does he sleep? You never get any real presentation that he has like normal functioning, like any type of like interaction with society outside of nighttime.
Yeah, or
and then that was weird that and it's like because all these people are functioning in this at these like psychotic times doing like very odd things, it just like clicks for him.
Yeah, you're right. And like because I'm watching the scene, like the first thing he encounters is like the cops are trying to pull a body out of a car, and he's again shameless. Like the true hustler is the one who just gets in your face, and he's not afraid to get like he has no understanding of social graces or customs or conventions. Like he understands them intellectually but has no care for them in practice unless it serves him. He's totally manipulative, just like a pure psychopath slash serial killer.
There's a legitimate debate in this movie whether he's meant to be like psychopathic or on the spectrum.
Fair.
And Dan Gilroy has said that he mentioned him being on the spectrum for sure. But I think that the sociopath question is still very open on that, because I don't think there's no reason that someone with autism would necessarily go to the lengths that he goes to.
Yeah, but that's the argument. Like that falls under the category of autism as superpower. This or in this case, autism as supervillain power.
Yeah.
But he has spectrum-like qualities. Like he has autistic qualities. That lack of social awareness, that lack of like he's not blinking, and he doesn't he doesn't have any affect.
Yeah.
He's
Single-minded
separate.
focus.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
the conversations when he talks to Rene Russo, it's like, I'm a very fast learner. Like, I'm not conventionally educated, but like I spend a lot of time on his computer. And then like just later on when he goes into great detail, like breaking down the like even the stats of like how many minutes crime features on their newscast.
Yeah. And so well, I'm sure we'll get into that, but just like the way he understands marketing, like watching his evolution, and maybe this goes to what you were saying, James, just like you do like to watch him overcome the obstacles and get in that newsroom that like he like, and it's such low stakes too, like it's just LA morning news, right?
Yeah, and then you find out later in the movie too that it's like the worst news program on the food chain.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just like, whatever, he's just like overtaking it as his like first step. And it is low. It's like a shitty like meeting a bunch of like probably likely college educated people in like a random newsroom where he probably could have just gotten a job if he wanted.
Right. Yeah. But but they're weak, they need him, and he has that special sauce, and they're desperate, and so he has good bargaining posture with them.
Yeah, in fact, James, to what you were saying, there is that part where they're saying like, okay, most people want, this is a step on the ladder, like they bring us stuff and then they want to be able to film or whatever. What do you want? He's like, no, I want to do this. I want to go around, record grotesque accidents at night.
Right. Yeah, because she offers it to, like, as he's trying to, like, and the way he fucking just utterly dominates Rene Russo in this is, grotesque, but also part of it just makes sense, but I had another thought in there somewhere. It's gone now. But anyway.
And dominates and also like plays to her nature, because there is like it's not love hate, but she gets him, like she's excited by the purity of what he's bringing to the table.
Yeah. No, okay, yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah, because she has almost devotion to him later, but it's also like a servitude. It's both things, and like if it was just the servitude, it would be less compelling or less interesting. But yeah, people fall under Lou's spell, even though he's like, I'm watching him try to sell the bike right now. Like he's just riding it around the room.
Yeah, he's just, and he's like you guys said about the spectrum stuff, but it's almost like he has like an eidetic memory or something. But it's like you say, he's supposed to be gifted, but you're supposed to be like toying around with the idea if he's not like is he a psychopath? Is he just the way he is? Because I think sociopath, you wouldn't kill people.
Yeah, there's various degrees of it, for sure.
But I guess technically, did he kill anyone technically?
Technically, yes.
Rick. He killed Rick. He sets up.
He didn't actually kill him himself.
He didn't pull the trigger, but he knew it was going to happen.
And he lets those people in the coffee shop die. Like indirectly, he will let people die. He has no qualms. Like that's another thing that makes him, okay, fine. He could have just been a shitty human, but he's like, well, he cuts the brake lines on fucking Bill Paxton's.
So do you guys think, I was wondering that, do you think that he caused Bill Paxton an accident?
Absolutely.
I think so too.
Yeah. Because Rick's standing there and he's just like, so he just drove into a pole, right? Like what the fuck happened? And I love about this movie is that they don't explain it, right? There's no hand holding. You're just left to fill in the blanks. And he comes in there and he makes a point of like showing the camera to Bill Paxton, and Bill Paxton at that moment knows. And it's like,
as he's choking on blood.
Yeah.
Oh, that line. Yeah. Rick's like, don't film that, man. He's one of us. Not anymore. We're professionals. He's a sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
God.
as if there was honor amongst these individuals to begin. Like what a fucking horrible job. Like what a weird world. That's another thing about this movie that is so interesting, is that I never thought for once about stringers as a culture, as a job, as a thing that happens in the world. And it opens up so much space for talking about things. Just these people just driving around all night, like these Nightcrawlers. It's fucked.
Yeah, and just like having to be like, the emergency response, like just being the first to the scene, being the pushiest one, the one who's willing to dare, cops kind of like shoving you back and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just like not giving a shit. It's part of the hustle.
Shame couldn't be like part of your like mentality at all.
No. And then you just like you're not going to get arrested. You just have to obey the cops. You just when they tell you to fuck off, then fuck off.
Yeah, and the majority of the time the cops are in like an emergency situation, right? So they're already going to be up to their asses in paperwork. So it doesn't, it sort of is like unspoken. Like you said, there's no hand holding, but like he's never in any danger of being charged or arrested.
No, every once in a while the cops will give him hassle, but yeah, like he's just a fly. Like he's just this fucking, he just shows up like a fly,
That's
like
a great way to
pest.
look at him, yeah. Yeah.
Just like I wrote down some of the things he's like when it shows his he's on the montage of him, like his Rocky montage is like drunk mom kills biker, toddler stabbed, power line electrocution, savage dog. I didn't write them all down. I just wrote down some choice ones, and I was like, Jesus Christ! And he's so proud of each and every one of them. He showed up there first.
Yeah, he has them in his archive.
Yeah.
When he goes on that date with Rene Russo, he's like, yeah, like I watch my work all the time.
Yeah. Well, because he's studying him. Like again, that comes down to the singular focus. Like he's found a niche that he's perfect because he's just a fucking creep, and so it's a job for creeps. And he's like, great, like these people need me. News is entertainment. News needs clicks. Like what was that? Think of our newscast as a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut. Wow.
That's right.
Holy fuck. And that's so, and it, like I already said this at the top, but like that's it, that's internet culture. That's click culture. It's the reason this movie is one of the many things it's about is about like why our world is so fucked up right now. Because the mediated spaces that we've created are ultimately about drawing advertisement dollars and not about conveying truth. There's emotional manipulation, there's bias and selection. They're like, okay, well, we don't give a shit if there's black people getting shot. That's not going to make the news. But if a white family gets shot, we put that front and center. Like these are deliberate choices that everybody's talking about.
One of my like favorite things about this movie is it's this funhouse version of the American dream, distorted through the nightscape, but like it's still very much there. But I love Lou like learning the ropes, and like he's grasping so quickly, but like the way it's coming out is shocking to people. Like hearing what they said back to them without any filter is like just makes people flinch. But Rene Russo is like explaining the rules, and he's like, yeah, like so okay, like we like stuff like this. He's like, okay, bloody. She's like, well, that's just part of it, but it'd be like crime, but not all crime. It's that fear dynamic. And then he's like, okay, you want accidents, you want bloody. She's like, well, graphic. But like it's just that negotiation of language, like get back off from like the true thing. We have codes. Yeah. There are things that we have. There are ways that we talk about this.
Right. That's okay. That's interesting. And then during the newscast, when like he goes into the house and finds the executed people in the crib or whatever.
Oh my God, yeah. And it lets you sit with that. It lets you, because he records the crib, and then it's a while before they go into the review the video, and that the lady's like, is there a dead baby in that crib?
Yeah. No. It's like, no, it was empty.
Yeah.
And she's like, and Renee's like telling the newscaster, she's giving them instruction, hit it again, and it's just like these narratives being spun in real time in front of us. And the only good person is it James Spader? who's that fucking guy in the newsroom? What's that guy's fucking name? It's not James Spader. The other station manager or whatever, who's constantly like shocked and like disgusted.
Yeah, he's like, maybe we could use some like media ethics or morals.
Yeah. But it's the bottom of the food chain newscast, and so sorry, I'm just looking for the fucking actor. It's funny, I don't see him here. Oh well. See everybody else. But so like, morals and ethics and all that shit just goes right off to the side. Completely. Who cares? Because we gotta stay in the game. We gotta stay in our hustle. And yeah, just everybody's hustling, and all of it just amounts to the world that we live in. Yeah. And it's just seen through the prism of this. This, well, again, low stakes, microcosm of.
And this business, like I love Lou's sense of himself as a business person, and like all that like self-help, like the financial speak. You see it. My favorite part is that interview with Rick, when he's just like, he's basically, he's this homeless guy. Like no one else will take the interview. He's offering him something like $20 a night or something like that.
$30 a night.
And yeah, he's like, oh, like sell yourself to me. Like how do I know that you want the job? And I got the quote.
He's like, I took the bus here.
Yeah, I took the bus here. I finished high school. I'll do almost anything. I'm Rick.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Rom, that's that guy's name. Not the guy who played Rick, but the dude I was thinking of, the other station manager
guy.
Frank Cruz. Anyway.
Yeah, and it is such like, it is that corporate America. It's like instantly he's like got this exploitation angle of like, yeah, like I want you to know that it's not uncommon for me to hire my interns.
Yeah. And then, like at the very end, it's like he's hired, like he's got 3 fucking trucks, and it's all driven by interns. Some of you will get a job, like it's a rat race. And then he understands like the way to make people work in America is to put them in a rat race. Like they want to be in the rat race almost. Like this is what they expect.
Yeah. If he's a superhero, he's like Bizarro Superman, like trying to do right by American rules. And
oh my goodness,
sort of getting
it. Just this haunted skeletal Superman. Me love you. Me no love you. Yeah. And you also get that all that self-help shit that he goes through. Like what does he say to Rick? He's like, get out of your head, Rick. It's a bad neighborhood. Like there is a purposeful lack of introspection. Because like that's the business mantra, like don't get caught up, don't think. He's so cool for the most part until Bill Paxton starts overtaking him, and he fucks up with Rene Russo, and he's losing a little face, and then he finally like smashes that mirror, and then I hypothesize kills Bill Paxton, and then it's good times roll. But for the most part, though, like he's not just neurologically bent towards a lack of socialization or social good. He's also like nurtured by the media and by business speak.
Yes. Absolutely. Because he's talked about, I think there's that one passage where he's talking about like I'm looking at framing, and he's talking about how the proper frame will draw the subject into it. I think like Rene Russo is providing that frame where she's teaching him like what they want to see, how to interpret crime. What did she say? Urban crime creeping into the suburbs is their angle always, and he starts making that happen. Yeah,
you mean like with the after the well, aside from his own actions, but also you mean like within like the myth of that, like after the execution in the house and the crib and all that stuff.
That's right, yeah, and at the end it comes out that the sort of like moral voice in the room was like, it turns out that there was cocaine and it looks like it was a targeted robbery. And
Right.
Neighbors was like, yeah, like, no, that's not the story. The story is urban crime.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so truth goes out the window for the sake of a good story.
And for fear of it, because anyone could be it's not like a targeted crime anyway. It could happen to anyone.
Yeah. And yeah. So this Jobs, fucking Bill Paxton's awesome. Flaming asshole of a job. Fucking, it was really nice to see Bill Paxton back.
Yeah, I didn't. This must have been like very close to one of his last roles, or
I don't know. 2014. So I have no idea. I guess we could easily look that up. I don't know who's going to do it first. Bill Paxton, rest in peace. Died 2017. So not. Yeah, pretty close though. I mean, like he was too soon, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. The Circle, Pixies, Nightcrawler. He did 4 movies after this. Or he did a voice acting and then 3 movies. I saw The Circle. Yeah, that was all right. Starring Hermione and what's his nose, Tom Hanks. Pretty all right. Not as revelatory as Nightwing, fucking Nightcrawler, but it's just Nightwing. I love Nightwing. Yeah. A friend is a gift you give yourself. So.
Yeah, I like Joe Loder's pitch when he's like trying to like recruit Lou, and then he like when he gets mad, he's like, yeah, if you understood the offer, you'd be sucking my dick.
I don't want to say
that, like petty bitterness.
Yeah, and his like his rejoinder, like Lou's like the dude's like, or Bill Paxton's like, think about it, and he's like, I don't want to slow down your hiring process. Like it's a professional courtesy. Yeah, he can't think of it in any other terms, and he's not going to engage with Bill Paxton in any other way except to murder him when the time comes. But he'll never like swear or flip you off. Maybe he'll like threaten you in some sort of in the way that he subtly threatens Rene Russo later on.
Oh my God, yeah.
What if saying no does sour the relationship? I'm not saying that.
He coerces her for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she has to, and she has no other options. And I think later on it's understood that he knew that in advance.
Definitely, because
or
when
maybe
he breaks down,
learned it as he went along.
I think so. Yeah.
When he breaks down the ratings and all that, and like how desperate she is to make that sort of sweep. Yeah, like for sure.
I like the dark makeup on your eyes. I also like the way you smell. Do you want to go for Mexican? I understand that, like it's like talking to another thing, like there's parallels with American Psycho here. Just the way that he's so what's the name of the guy from fucking American Psycho? Patrick Bateman. Yeah, the way Patrick Bateman is, talking about Dorsey all the time. I hear the sea crab is blah blah blah. Like they both exist. They're fully mediated creatures. And yeah, there's definitely shades of American Psycho, which to my mind like puts him in the psychopath camp, and also the murders he causes puts him pretty solid in the psycho.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about the Bill Paxton murder when I started, so I you can't get out of the psychopath now.
Which, yeah, well, he's like a Frankenstein. He's like a horror. This movie is so many things all at once. It's really inspired. Everybody just came together.
Yeah. And to go, like, I mean, there's some innocence is probably not the right word, but beliefs in himself, or like belief that he's like doing the right thing. I don't know, but like when he's being interviewed by that detective at the end, who's great. Right. Yeah, she was really good. Did the sort of like quiet rage that she had. But But he's like, yeah, like I like to think that if you're seeing me, you're having the worst day of your life. He's so like, it's like a little business, like supposed to be charming.
Like a charming slogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing, like he's so confident that he's gonna overtake the cops, right? I forgot about the scene with is it Rick that gets shot down? Who, like, one of the guys gets shot.
Yeah, Rick.
Watching it right now. No, later on, like he's showing the tape to Rene Russo right now. Okay, it's one of the gangbanger guys. It's Rick. It's Rick. Nope, I take it back. But sorry, they're Rene Russo and her watching it, and it's like they're on a date. It's like like it's this romantic moment.
Well, she's got some like kind of macabre perversion too.
Yeah,
she gets like almost like all excited. Was that your partner? Like, sicko.
Yeah, and then when like they've always had those fraught negotiations, and I think he says like, how much, and then she's like, you tell me. Like it's tender almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like again, like this movie is it never stops giving. Like this is no wonder they were laughing every day. Like this is hilarious. It's so dark. It's dark, like it's darkened to the point where you start laughing.
Yeah.
And then you start crying, and you're like, oh no, it's a little too true.
I was fairly shocked too, I think, through most of it. It was really compelling. Like there was no effort for me to watch it because I was dug in when I started it.
Yeah, it grabs you. Well, this was my I think third time watching it.
Oh wow.
And nothing lost. Like just more and more appreciation for like everybody's work, and the choices made. Just fantastic.
Rick's dead as soon as he does that shit negotiation too.
Yes, and that's what it is. Like I think he'd be fine, but I think it really is about him taking, as Lou says, you're taking my bargaining power.
Yeah.
It's business. Like it's not personal. It's you fucked with the American system.
Yeah. No, and at that point it enters into like, okay, let's put it into labor terms. So basically he's saying like, I'm going to strike, and I'm going to do so in such a way that's going to damage you. And he's like, well, I can't do anything about that. So I'm going to like what does capitalism do at that stage? Like they just call in the fucking cops to beat you to death. Like it's the point where the workers rise up. As pitiful as Rick is, but he's sort of the microcosm of that moment of like someone realizing that they have value to the employer, standing up, and then the employer realizing, oh fuck, I'm fucked, if this person actually stands up, so I'm going to beat them. That's man, that's pretty fucking real.
That's perfect.
That's how that works. So he just initiates that playbook, and like anytime there's competition, anytime there's anything that's going to shut him down, he will murder you. That's part of it. And he doesn't have any compunction about it. Like this last scene with the cops at the end, doesn't even have a lawyer. He's pure. He's so fucking pure.
Yeah. I haven't done anything that could be considered illegal.
Mm-hmm. I haven't
and
done
he's sure of it.
Yeah. Which again is another thing. Like he's clearly thought it out. He understands his legal position throughout all of it. And he's thought about like the evidence and what's available and the optics and everything. And he has a brilliance to him that allows him. But again, it's exercised in the most pathetic space possible.
Yeah.
Which is just sort of like creepy. Like it adds to the creep. Like if he was like Lex Luthor, you'd be like, that's dumb. But this makes sense. He's just a creep.
This little area means so much to him. And you're like, this? But yeah, exactly. It just feels more real for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's, like not only is he a psychopath, but this is like, it's just sort of become his like fetish space to like exercise in.
Yeah. In the sense of, but he takes a real pride in it. Like getting back to what Chris was saying about like framing and stuff. Like he does have. It's not just the business. Like he wants to take really good pictures because he understands, like, I'm selling these images. Like I want to be a good photographer.
Yeah, he calls his tapes products. Like he always uses that like market language.
Yeah, I know we keep like adding names or categories to put Lou in, but he's also sort of a Renaissance man in a fucked up sort of way. He's an artist, he's a businessman. I guess he's not really a creator or inventor though, but he doesn't seem to have any areas in which, like, other than his basic human interaction and moral self-worth, he doesn't really seem to have any like problems with knowledge, and incorporates it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Doesn't blink either.
Doesn't blink.
He blinks sometimes, but so often he's just not blinking.
What do you guys think of the car chase at the end of this?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
All the car scenes and the driving were very capable and like added a lot to this.
Yeah.
Because that's what it felt like a car movie. It even had like sort of a specialty car.
It reminded me of Drive a little bit in that. Yeah, and like the sort of space that it's operating in. But like I agree. Like I didn't think it would go to like action movie at the end, but that like as those suspects are getting away when he calls the cops and like
I'm looking at it now. Yeah,
like it's amazing. It's it's this super exciting car chase. Like cops are getting taken out left and right. Then it's just them coming on the car wreck of the, like that would be amazing footage for one thing. Like, you can feel the excitement for him.
I love how shit scared Rick is.
His driving's insane.
Yeah.
And like not possible, but it's fun to toy with that too.
Yeah, I think that does sell
the Renaissance man. Yeah, go, Chris. Sorry.
No, that's all. I just think that does help sell it. Like just Rick's like absolute pants-shitting terror.
But yeah, Lou's never gonna crash. He's never gonna make it that kind of mistake. Like he's like plugged into the city. They're driving through like oncoming traffic right now. And he's just like fearless, does not care, seeing everything around him, no blinking. Yeah, this movie never lets you settle into a groove about what this movie is. So you're never really bored. Like you don't have time to be bored. You're only shocked, astounded, entertained, horrified, laughing, repeat over and over. It's just yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, go fuck yourself, Swifties. Jake Gyllenhaal's. Go ahead.
You got nothing. I was waiting for you to finish that. Jake Gyllenhaal is the real deal.
He's the real fucking deal, man.
Sorry,
never done it.
He doesn't care. That's right.
When he makes a movie.
Like many people don't care about that 20-year-old ex-girlfriend.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.